Well, I want to display a little product here because I've had gun socks. That's what they call them, gun socks. This is a pistol type right here. It's just got a Velcro fastener. That's from about, that's a good 20 years old. Also, you can see this one here. This is a gray one down here. This gray one. That's about 20 years old. The lever action fits in here nice and fine. But if you have like a tactical rifle, this doesn't stretch. So if you have like the pistol grip and say the scope with see-through mounts, like I always have see-through mounts, doesn't fit on there too well. But this, you notice this tactical rifle type, it's about as wide. It's a little thin. It's thinner though, but it's, the only thing you really need it for is to prevent scratches. And they're silicone impregnated, but you know what I always do with these things? I just douse them down with WD-40. I mean, I find out WD-40 is probably one of your better protectants out there. It doesn't really affect the wood. It doesn't affect plastic. Doesn't affect cloth. So just douse it down with that. They're silicone impregnated, but like I said, I always douse them down with that. So like if you have some weapons in, say, a gun safe, and you have them laying up against each other, you don't want to scratch them. Not that that's super important, but some people it is. Get some light scratches on them. You can not only protect them from rust by having them in this with, this being silicone impregnated or sprayed down with WD-40, but you can lay the weapons against each other, say in a gun safe, and not worry about them getting scratched, which is cool. The other thing is you can color code them. So like I got, this one's gray. This one's black. This one's like a purple. They got other colors out there. And actually this one, it looks like it's a lot thinner than a gray one, right? Well, I could fit this in here in that, no problem. I'll show you what it is. It's just because it stretches. It stretches much more. And it's Midway. Larry Potter, is that the guy that owns that place? He gets all your money, right? That's what happens, right, Rocky? Of course, my faithful sidekick is always here right now, Rocky the cat. So, anyway, this is a Colt Detective Special, based upon the Smith & Wesson Model 36, except it's 6 shots. That's going in there, and this is my Marlin 357, which I just mounted a nice low scope on there. This cap doesn't fit in the front because of the scope is right to the edge. It's 2.5 power, quick to sight in. Probably the only way you really should have a scope on a, well, a Marlin works fine with a scope because it's a side eject, just as a side note. But that's not too bad on a Marlin. You can see it's nice. It's small, it's low profile. Actually, it doesn't look bad on this lever action at all, especially if you take these caps off. Just small scope, right? Doesn't look bad, actually, to tell you the truth. Some people say they look bad, but that scope seems to look fine to me. 2.5 power, sight's nice and quick, works fine with this. So, but this will stretch far more than this wide one, but it's a thinner material. It's like a knit material. Okay, so this is actually, I'd recommend getting a tactical one. This is called a tactical one because it could stretch out a lot further. You could see this has a lot more stretch to it. It'll go over, the irregular shape of the weapon if you got scopes on it. Better than these, and it takes up a little less room, just a hair less room. It's got a drawstring on the bottom versus a Velcro. These are both from Midway. This is, I think they still sell these other types. These are thicker, but you probably don't need it. And this probably could suffice as a gun case, a soft case. It's not going to. Just got to make sure you don't lay your weapon, nothing on top of your weapon. And this one, like I said, this one I really can't get this in the mouth of this one, but this will fit all the way in here, no problem. So again, the 38 Colt Detective Special, based upon its Smith & Wesson Model 36, except it's 6 shots, but double action. It fits in here perfect, and I keep 6 rounds of ammunition down there in the bottom of the sock. I don't actually put it in the weapon, but it fits in there perfect because it stretches. Even though this one is a little bit larger physically, it just doesn't stretch. But this has a little more cushion to it. It's kind of good for maybe a longer barrel revolver. So anyway, Rocky's all excited about that, I could tell. This guy, man. This was my super shy cat. The guy that wouldn't let anybody go near him. Now he's like a laid-back little puppy, you know. So he talks a lot too. He says he's the meow guy. He talks a lot. So anyway, it's they're well worth it because I mean, what does it cost you to freaking refinish a weapon if you get too many scratches on it? Quite a bit, right? These I don't know. I think they're like $6, $7, $8 or something. Depends on what size you get. Say $7 to $10 at max. But I would recommend getting a tactical one, even if you're using it for non-tactical, because you can see how thin it is. It's like it's not wide, and get them a little extra large and get some different colors. Because now I know, like, if I look at this black case, I know, hey, this is my 357 lever. If I look at this purple one, I say, well, that's my 38 special. You know, if I look at this gray one, maybe that'll be my 44 lever, right? Because I'm getting 44 Maryland lever. It's going to go in one of these. So, that's the other thing. It makes it a lot easier to determine, hey, that's what the hell it is, right? And you can actually label them, too. I mean, you can put something on here and just label what the hell it is, too, once you start always using that particular case. So, it's a great idea. Save you a lot of freaking money, actually, in refinishing weapons, because your gun safe will probably smack your weapons up more than anything, putting them in there and taking them out of there. Now you can just lay them up against each other, not worry about scratches. And even though these are impregnated already with silicone, douse them down with WD-40. You can even just do the outside or just do the inside, and that'll keep the weapon good for years and years and years. And, you know, that doesn't screw up wood, doesn't screw up plastic, doesn't screw up, you know, the bluing, obviously, doesn't screw up any cloth, you know, like your sling or anything like that, or your leather sling. So, again, make sure I'd recommend only getting the tactical cases because they do not take up too much more room. They fit over any rifle pretty good anyway, even like this Marlin lever, which has got a nice straight stock. But they go nice over like a Monte Carlo stock, a rifle with a pistol grip, a rifle with a scope and see-through mounts that are real high up. You'll still go all over it. So I'd recommend getting a tactical one and skip the other ones, even if you don't need the tactical one, because in certain situations, if you change your scope out with a scope with see-through mounts, or you change your stock, or you put a pistol grip on a weapon or something, or you do something different with it, whatever, you'll find that this will always fit. And it seems to fit snug enough on even just a plain straight lever. So, right, Rocky? Is that good to go? Feel safe now, huh? Well protected? You got your Marlin lever 44 and your Colt Detective Special by your side? Say meow. Anyway, he's sleeping.